The fall of the Inca Empire wasn't a swift or simple defeat. Instead, it unfolded as a drawn-out, grueling conflict that would last for decades. This was a 40-year war of resistance, a relentless struggle that tested the limits of endurance and hope. For years after the Spanish first set foot in their lands, the Inca refused to yield. They fought back with courage and determination, unwilling to surrender the world they had built. Deep in the jungle, they established the Neo-Inca state of Vilcabamba, a hidden stronghold from which they launched daring raids and waged a campaign of guerrilla warfare. This was not merely a desperate last stand. It was a calculated, strategic fight for survival, led by leaders who adapted to new threats and changing times. The Inca used their deep knowledge of the land and their advanced road system to coordinate resistance across the vast Andes, moving people and messages with remarkable speed. Their society's unity and collective labor, values at the heart of Inca life, fueled their ability to endure hardship and keep fighting. The Spanish may have possessed superior weapons and unfamiliar tactics, but the Inca had resilience, organization, and a profound connection to their homeland. This prolonged struggle challenges the simple narrative of conquest, revealing a story of resistance that is often overlooked. The Inca were not passive victims of history. They were determined defenders of their world, their families, and their traditions. Their resistance stands as a testament to the strength of their culture and the enduring power of the human spirit. For 40 years, they fought for every valley, every mountain pass, and every sacred site that defined their civilization. The war was about more than territory. It was about preserving their way of life, their beliefs, and their understanding of the universe, a cosmic order they saw reflected in the land. The Inca story is one of survival, adaptation, and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Their legacy invites us to look deeper into what they fought to protect, their knowledge, their communities, and their vision of the world. The true story of the Inca is not one of quick defeat, but of enduring resistance, ingenuity, and hope. Their fight changed history and continues to shape our understanding of resilience and the meaning of survival. The resistance began, not with a whisper, but with a thunderous collision of two worlds. In 1532, the Spanish and the Inca met in a moment that would forever alter the fate of a continent. Francisco Pizarro, leading just 168 determined conquistadors, arrived in the heart of the Andes, facing an empire of millions ruled by the powerful Atahualpa. Atahualpa, still consolidating power after a brutal civil war, saw the Spanish as little more than curious outsiders. He gravely underestimated their intentions and their weapons. Confident, he met them at Cajamarca, surrounded by thousands of attendants, expecting a diplomatic exchange or perhaps a display of his own might. But the Spanish had come prepared for conquest, not negotiation. They set a deadly ambush, hiding their true intentions until the perfect moment. When a Spanish friar offered Atahualpa a Bible and he rejected it, the gesture became the pretext for a sudden, brutal attack. Cannons thundered, horses charged through the crowd, and in a matter of minutes, thousands of unarmed Inca were killed, their world thrown into chaos. Atahualpa was seized, paralyzing the empire's command and leaving the Inca people leaderless and stunned. This single event shattered the Incas' sense of invincibility, sending shockwaves through their society and setting the stage for years of fierce resistance and heartbreak. The Spanish sought gold, glory, and dominion. The Inca, in turn, fought to defend a civilization deeply rooted in the land, the mountains, and the spirit of their ancestors. The capture of Atahualpa was not the end, but the spark that ignited a long, bitter struggle for survival and freedom. The Inca regrouped in the mountains, learning to fight back with new tactics and fierce determination against these strange, relentless invaders. The clash at Cajamarca ignited a fire of resistance that would burn for decades, inspiring generations to come. It was a collision of technology, worldviews, and destinies, an encounter that would reshape the Americas forever. For the Inca, the fight was just beginning, and their spirit would endure long after the first clash of swords. The Andes became the Incas' greatest weapon. Masters of their environment, Inca warriors used guerrilla tactics, ambushing Spanish columns in narrow gorges, rolling boulders from cliffs and disrupting supply lines. They destroyed bridges, burned seized storehouses, and even flooded valleys to trap Spanish horses. Their resistance was a chess match, not a brawl. During the siege of Cusco, Manco Inca's forces used incendiary projectiles and dug trenches to neutralize cavalry. The Inca adapted quickly, learning from each encounter. They lured Spanish troops into rough terrain where horses were useless. Psychological warfare, war trumpets, and chants added to the chaos. The Inca turned the land itself into a weapon, making every advance costly for the Spanish. Their war was one of strategy, adaptation, and relentless ingenuity. The Inca military was far from primitive. Their slings could break bones, their maces crushed armor. Warriors wielded bows, javelins, and heavy clubs, protected by padded cotton armor and wooden shields. The army was highly organized, with disciplined units and a vast logistical network. Service was a public duty, and soldiers were well trained. The Inca even captured and used Spanish weapons, learning to ride horses and fire guns. Though they never matched Spanish steel, their adaptability was remarkable. The Inca fought with both tradition and innovation, turning every tool to their advantage. Their military was a force to be reckoned with, resourceful, organized, and determined. The deadliest enemy the Inca faced was invisible: disease. Smallpox, measles, and influenza swept through the empire, killing millions before the Spanish even arrived. The first epidemic struck before Pizarro, killing the emperor and his heir, sparking a civil war. Disease shattered the Incas' political structure and weakened their resistance. Entire communities vanished, and the psychological toll was immense. The Spanish gained an unintentional but devastating advantage. The Inca fought on two fronts, against foreign invaders and relentless epidemics. Their struggle was as much about survival as it was about war. The story of the Inca resistance cannot be told without this tragic, overwhelming catastrophe. Atahualpa's leadership defined the early resistance. Confident after civil war, he saw the Spanish as a minor threat. His capture at Cajamarca was a calculated risk gone wrong. Even in captivity, he commanded immense loyalty, offering a vast ransom for his freedom. But the Spanish wanted more than gold. They wanted control. Despite the ransom, they executed Atahualpa, fearing his influence. His death shattered the empire's leadership and turned invasion into all-out war. Manco Inca would later rise, leading the rebellion from Vilcabamba. Atahualpa's fate marked a tragic turning point in the Incas' fight for survival. The Andes were both shield and challenge for the Inca. Towering peaks and deep canyons shaped every aspect of their lives and their resistance. Inca warriors, acclimatized to high altitudes, could strike and vanish where Spanish soldiers struggled to breathe. The mountains neutralized Spanish cavalry and provided natural fortresses. After Cusco's siege, Manco Inca retreated to Vilcabamba, a jungle stronghold nearly unreachable by the Spanish. The geography allowed the Inca to regroup and resist for decades. But the same terrain made communication and unity difficult. Destroyed bridges could isolate entire regions, and some local groups sided with the Spanish. The Andes protected the Inca, but also divided them. Geography was both their greatest ally and a constant obstacle. The mountains kept the flame of resistance alive, even as they complicated the struggle. The land itself became a central character in the Inca's story. The Inca resistance is more than a story of war. It's a lesson in resilience, ingenuity, and the enduring strength of a people determined to survive against overwhelming odds. Even after Vilcabamba fell in 1572, the spirit of defiance endured. The last Inca stronghold may have been lost, but the will to resist and preserve their way of life was never extinguished. Later uprisings, like that of Tupac Amaru II, drew inspiration from this legacy. Generations of indigenous leaders looked to the Inca as symbols of hope and resistance, fueling movements for justice and autonomy. The 40-year war slowed Spanish conquest and shaped colonial Peru. The Incas' prolonged struggle forced the Spanish to adapt, leaving a mark on the region's politics, society, and culture. The Inca were not passive. They were skilled, adaptable, and courageous. Their strategies, alliances, and knowledge of the land made them formidable opponents, and their legacy continues to inspire pride. Their fight challenges the myth of easy conquest and demands a more nuanced view of history. The Inca story reminds us that history is complex, and that resistance can take many forms. Inca culture survived by adapting, not disappearing. Through language, art, and daily traditions, their heritage lives on in the Andes. Today, millions speak Quechua and practice traditions rooted in the Inca past. The rhythms of ancient life still echo in music, festivals, and family customs. The scars of resistance remain, but so does the spirit. The land itself holds memories of struggle and hope, woven into every stone and mountain. The Inca story is proof that a people's spirit can outlast empires. Their memory endures in the landscape and in the hearts of their descendants. Their endurance is a testament to the power of culture and identity. It shows us that true strength lies in unity and the will to remember who we are. You can conquer a state, but not the will of a people. The Inca resistance is a reminder that identity and heritage can survive even the harshest trials. The Inca resistance still echoes in the Andes today, a living legacy that continues to inspire and shape the future. The Inca resistance is a window into the human story of courage, adaptation, and survival. History isn't just dates, it's a laboratory for understanding ourselves. By exploring stories like the Incas, we see patterns that shape all societies. Every culture has faced challenges and left a legacy. These stories connect us to the wider human family. The past is alive in our languages, cultures, and traditions. Keep exploring. Don't stop with the Inca. Every civilization has something to teach us about who we are and who we might become. If you enjoyed this journey, join our community of learners. Subscribe for more stories from our shared universe. The adventure continues. The cosmos awaits.